Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. And just start out by saying we're really excited about the invitation to go back to Nashville, playing the Perfect Music City Bowl. We were there, as you all know, a couple of years ago and had a wonderful experience and a good football game. So expecting more of the same there. We still consider going to a bowl game a really significant accomplishment for our football team. This will be our 22nd one since our first bid back in '01. So just really proud of the guys and happy for them, especially to end up in a good venue like this and in a good game against an outstanding opponent. Playing Missouri, had a 9-3 record this year in a really tough conference. So I know they're a good football team. I heard that they've won 4 straight bowls, so they know something about bowl success on top of that. So a lot of work to do on them. Certainly got a lot of time to do that right now. But first and foremost, just happy with the way things have panned out and just again, really happy for our team and congratulate them on a really good year. And I'll throw it out for questions.
All right, Coach. First question will be from Tom Kakert.
Hey, Kirk. Kind of a twofold question. Do you have any other players that are going to opt out of the bowl game, and a health update on like Jennings Dunker, Reese Vanderzee, those guys potentially playing in the bowl game?
Yeah, both those guys are on track right now. Not sure where they're going to be this week, but I think we're a lot closer. Reese got to work. We worked a little bit on Friday. He was out there, so that looks really encouraging. Dunk's probably a couple days away yet, but he's doing really well, on a good path, and both those guys are eager to play. Regarding the first part of it, last week what we tried to do is we were all in the office. None of us could go out recruiting, so we spent a lot of time with our players individually and a little bit collectively. And they got a lot of questions right now just because of the nature of college football, the way it stands. We'll continue those discussions this week, but encourage everybody to just kind of take personal inventory, figure out what they want to do, where they're going, that type of thing. And anything could happen here in the next couple of weeks. But I think our roster is pretty well settled right now, and hopefully no surprises here next couple of weeks. If there are, we'll let you know. But I think everybody's kind of got an idea of what they're doing, where they're going, and anticipate the team staying together and getting ready for a good ball game.
Next question is from John Steppe.
Hi, Kirk. I remember you saying that Brendan Sullivan was available but not necessarily mobile against Nebraska. How has he progressed, and do you expect him? Granted, we have a couple weeks here, but I'm assuming you expect him to be 100% for Nashville.
I would think so, unless somebody falls on him. So, he's a week better than he was, for the Nebraska game, and he moved around just fine on Friday. This time is really valuable for him, and I say it jokingly, but hopefully nobody steps on him or, does something stupid there. We'll try to keep him out of harm's way. But this is really valuable time for him because, he's a great young guy, a great young prospect. He hasn't played a lot still. That's the reality of it. So this window of opportunity is really big for him, just like it is for Jackson. So really looking forward to having a chance where, they can get some really quality reps in and hopefully keep moving forward.
Next question is from Adam Jacoby.
Kirk, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I wanted to ask you about not only the current coach at Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, who's obviously got a lot of national acclaim, but was a little bit curious as to whether your paths had ever crossed professionally. And then also Barry Odom was just hired by Purdue to be the head coach, had originally been at Mizzou from 16 to 19. And also, so, your thoughts on Barry as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to. I've never met Eli in person, so had that opportunity, eager for that. Tremendous respect for what he's done, and I don't know a lot about him, quite frankly. His background, I know he was at Appy State, an outstanding program, and did a really nice job there. So, Missouri certainly did a good job of identifying him, and the job he's done there in short time. I'm old. I consider 5 years short time. So he's really done a really nice job not only building a good program, but it's a national program, and they've done very well in a tough conference, as you know. So, congratulations to them. I know it's going to be a tough opponent for us to match up against. And then going back to Coach Odom, I've never met Barry either, but tremendous respect for him, especially if you look at what he's done here these last couple of years. And I don't mean this in a negative way towards UNLV, but they've gone through several coaches there over the years and really have never had success, proven success or continued success there. So, when I kind of look across things, sometimes, things catch your eye. And I've said it to several people this year, the job that they're doing down there is just absolutely amazing. I don't pretend to know what they're doing or how they're doing it, other than I know they're playing really good football. And I also have heard nothing about, I've never met him personally, but heard nothing about, but positive things about him as a person and as a coach. So, not surprised that he's had that kind of success there.
Appreciate it.
Next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, Chad.
Um, to follow on John's question, do you anticipate Brendan as your starter, assuming he's healthy? And also, it's just actually a pretty short bowl prep. I mean, if you think about the calendar, you got 3 weeks basically. I know, recruiting and portal stuff is going to take a lot of time. So, what does your bowl prep look like? I guess in these 3 weeks.
Yeah, we were grounded last week, so I actually got to it pretty early in the week. And you make a really good point. It is a semi-abbreviated schedule, probably closer to the one we had for the Holiday Bowl in 19 than maybe the other ones. And it's interesting too, one thing kind of gets in the way, those final exams, which nobody talks about in college football anymore, graduation rates, all that stuff. I mean, when's the last time you heard anybody talk about graduation rates or finals? It's probably been a while, but we do have finals week coming up. This is our last week of regular class. Next week will be finals. The interesting sidebar there is, when I talk to kids now, I tell you, if they have 4 finals, that's a lot. 2, 3 is more typical. A lot of them take the final or two before the finals week begins. So things have changed in 25 years. But we'll navigate that week. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit more abbreviated. Hopefully we'll still get a chance to work the younger guys. That's one real bonus of the bowl trip. And I think that's, kind of twofold. It's our last game together as a team, so that's awfully important for everybody. But there's also a window there where we get some time with the younger guys maybe and let the older guys, get on and off the field in a short time and let the older guys get a little bit, or younger guys get more work. So there's a lot of good things about December, and hopefully we'll be smart in our judgment and get both things accomplished.
And then
Tyler Tashman.
Well, the quarterback thing, did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll let that go.
Let it compete, basically.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
let them both practice and see what happens. If I had a guess right now, I'd probably say Brandon will be the starter, but we'll see. We'll let them both work and see how it all goes.
All right, now Tyler Tashman.
Kirk, excuse me, hope you're doing well. Just
What's
with the next few weeks, obviously the portal, bowl prep. I know you've juggled that before, but how do you prioritize what is important and what you want to accomplish in the next few weeks with obviously so much going on?
Yeah, we'll try to make it work. And I would argue this. I think it's probably, at least as I'm looking at it, ask me in 3 weeks what I think. But in some ways, this is more sane than what we had 3 years or 20 years ago. I think I referenced the other day. I remember getting on the plane for the Capital One Bowl in '04, and whatever day it would have been, I'd flown in, got on the ground here about 2:30 that morning, the day we were leaving, coming back from a recruiting visit, a home visit. So we were right in the thick of our actual recruiting, that recruiting class. Now it's a whole different deal. One thing about the portal, I mean, the players have to come to us. We're grounded right now. We can't go anywhere, which makes it a little bit easier. We can get more accomplished if we're all here. Players have to come to us. And then the other sidecar to that whole thing in my mind is that with the portal, we have some ideas of what we're looking at and, maybe some positions we'd like to fortify, but it takes two to tango. So we're going to have to make, if those players don't, that we're interested in don't come to campus, it's time that we're not going to be using. So I'll be better qualified to, answer that question maybe at the end of the month, but I think we'll be able to manage both. I think we'll be able to do both. And in a perfect world, if a prospect is coming in, a portal prospect's coming in, I would hope we are practicing so then they can see with their own eyes what the competition is at their position, and instead of, hearing stories from coaches, that type of thing, they get to actually see it, plus get a good feel for how we do things.
Elliot Clough.
Hey, Kirk. A question kind of in the same vein regarding the portal and everything that's going on. Well, more so starting tomorrow. I guess Tyler said at the presser the other day that that's when the avalanche comes. I guess how do things change for you, particularly from maybe this week to next week as that portal window opens?
Yeah, I just we'll know what's real. What really is available. Um, I'm guessing, every area that you're concerned about or interested in, things will look a little different at those positions than they did a week ago. And then, but the bottom line still is there's got to be mutual interest. And, let's say there's a player we're interested, I doubt we'll be the only people that are interested with him. So you're going to have to compete for, in that regard. But it's kind of like anything else. We are what we are, and if it is attractive to a prospect and attractive enough for him to come and take a look and get a better feel for things, and that's good. And if not, we'll move on and find some guys that are interested. So, I think we have a good idea where we'd like to fortify our team as a staff. I think we're pretty much on the same page there, but we don't want to reach for people either. So we're not going to fill a spot or fill what we think might be a perceived need just to fill it with somebody we're not excited about. It's got to be something both you feel good about on all ends. And obviously, the prospect has to feel the same way.
All right, Coach, two more questions. First is up as Chad.
I can't remember if you talked about Caleb Johnson the other day or not. I feel like you didn't, but I don't think we had too many questions.
Complimented him, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I guess, do you kind of find it understandable given his position, I guess, that what he did, and I'll appreciate that he finished the season, the regular season, and also just what do you see at running back now, Moulton and Patterson probably, or do you bring up a freshman for that number 3 spot?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I'm not just being nice. That's an excellent question. In that, I can tell you this, Chad, it's my views on a lot of things have changed, over the last 15 years. And I just look at the world our guys live in right now, and I look at all the information and misinformation they have to deal with. And that's not totally new, but it's really accelerated right now. Yeah, I want to really compliment Caleb in the way he's done things, because I don't mind telling you, if somewhere in the last month he had walked in and said he's done, I would have been really disappointed, and I would have felt bad for him because it would have been a terrible decision. But at the same time, I would have understood, because of the world we're living in. The people on the outside are really aggressive right now, really aggressive. And you don't have to be a football expert, if you're paying attention to us at all this year, to figure out somewhere probably in October, hey, this guy's maybe a cut above. He's really just done a great job this year. This has been a year for him to blossom as a player. And I just want to compliment him. I think he's done a really nice job handling it, because not everybody can handle that well. And the fact that he did finish out the season the way he did, and basically, I'm not saying he won the game for us last Friday night, but he was a huge component, whether you talk about the strip sack, his play, his individual effort, or the punt that Reese, knocked down there to give us the field position. Obviously, Drew's kick. That was one of the huge plays of the game, and that's what big time players do. So, I think he's handled it really well. He's done a good job with his teammates. And to me, if you're not going to finish it out, which in this case he's not, he did it in a way that really I think is really admirable, and did it really in a good way. And I'm not going to pass judgment on him playing or not playing. I appreciate what he's done, and I wish him nothing but the best moving forward. He'll do a good job. He's really grown up a lot. So yeah, that's that. But every case is a little bit different. And then sometimes you'll see players or hero players doing things maybe that aren't, at least what I think, are in their best interest, and that's where it's good to have information. But everybody's got to do what they think is best. So these are really tough times for student athletes to be navigating things right now. And again, the people on the outside are really, really aggressive, and I don't know what we do to stop that.
All right, final question, Coach, is from Tyler Tashman.
When you guys are recruiting high school guys, it could be a couple years, recruitment, but portal is a lot quicker. How do you get a feel for the guys, their personality, their character in such a short span? Because obviously you can just look at the stats, but more of the intangible side of things so quickly.
Yeah, so I'll come back to that. All right, I skipped the second part of Chad's question, and I'll come right back to that, because that's a good question too. Regarding our depth chart, obviously, we really, it's been fun to watch Kamari this year, I think, really grow. And the same thing with Jazz. Both those guys are playing their best football. Kamari a little bit more understandable. He's a really young guy right now and still maturing physically. But Jazz, I think, he was where we want him to be this year, and so happy about that. And we really are enthused about what we've seen of Xavier and Brevendal. Both those guys have done a really nice job in practice. I think they've grown immensely since August. So I made that comment a couple of weeks ago to our guys. I said, how do you think these guys would do if we put them in a game? And everybody gave the same answer. I think we all are seeing it the same way. So it'll be a committee. I don't know if it'll be 2 guys, 4 guys, but we'll play the guys we got. We really like the guys we have. Wish Caleb was with us, but again, appreciate what he's done. Then transition to your question about, which is a good question. I'm just sitting here smiling. Talked to a couple young men. I think it was Thursday night, and just to give you, a comparison or contrast. So these 2 guys are both in college, and they're both looking. I think right now, at least, they're where school they're considering. They're not at major colleges, Power 5 schools, but the guys that are good prospects. But the difference in talking to a guy who's either in his second year or third year in college versus, and I told both the guys on the phone, it's just kind of fun to talk to them because during the summertime, I'm sitting in here in this very same office with guys that haven't even started their junior years in high school. And, the contrast is so different. The guys that are in college know what they want academically, have a good idea where they're trying to be when they're 30, 35. And, when you ask a 10th grader, I mean, I didn't have a driver's license till the end of my junior year, like November, right before Thanksgiving, my junior year. So, whole different conversation. And so in some ways it's easier actually. But, and I think the other thing is that they've been in college. The guys in the portal, so they have a little better idea maybe of what they're looking for in terms of long-term academic stuff. Plus, football-wise, I think they have a better feel of what they're looking for, what they like, what they don't like. And again, we just try to be as transparent as we can be, because at the end of the day, we want to get a match it's good for both people, not fool people or mislead them and they get here and then they're not happy. That's a really bad deal, whether it's a transfer guy or an incoming freshman.
All right. Appreciate your time today, Coach.
Thank you, guys.